Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac Show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress.
Hey troops, I'm pretty excited at learning I'm gonna be at Mike Carbo's comic book marketplace March 31st, that's just a couple of weeks from now. Wow, I'm coming back to New York, to my hometown, and I can't wait to see you all there. Yep, your old lovable Generalissimo is really looking forward to his trip to New York, and I hope I see all of my brigadiers out in full force. Till then, Excelsior! And it better be good, because my name is up there on the masthead.
Guys, welcome back. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at Stan Lee's Comic Book Convention. And I am here with a very famous actor, character actor. You know him well as Little Eddie Munster from the Munsters. And it is a pleasure to meet you and to talk to you right here at Stan Lee's Comic Book Convention. Tell my audience why you are here, how you were introduced to this event, and who invited you to this event.
The promoter of this event, Michael Carbonero, is an old friend of mine. I've known him for years. Started working with Michael back about 15 years ago when we first did a Croft reunion here at this very same hotel. And he's been to Florida, and I've been to here. We've been becoming pals, buddies, and business associates ever since.
And how many years now have you been doing this? Is this your first year, or have you done many years at this particular comic book convention?
Well, this one, I think the first Comic-Con, Big Apple Comic-Con I did has been about 15 years ago.
And tell my audience what they can expect from this kind of convention.
Well, if you're a comic book aficionado, Michael is not only one of probably the world's smartest guys that knows everything about it, but he also brings in most of the most knowledgeable people in that field. So if you're looking for that hard-to-find comic book, or you're just getting into comic books, or your families, or you have kids or of any ages, you come down here and you can find a lot of merchandise and usually a lot of interesting celebrities and artists as well.
There's a lot, it's very fascinating. I mean, all the different booths, all the paraphernalia, all the comic books.
Yep.
And of course, Stan Lee is responsible for many famous comic book characters. Could you tell my audience some of the more famous ones he's famous for?
Oh, well, Stan is just basically, go into the Marvel catalog, and anything to do with Marvel, Stan has had probably a little bit something to do with. I myself, I was working with Chuck Jones, which was a whole different kind of genre, but as a kid I grew up being on the Munsters and then working with Chuck and the Phantom Toll Booth, which was a great animated movie. And you know, I was a big fan of Spider-Man, you know, so I mean everybody knows.
Me too,
Spider-Man.
Have you gone to see the Broadway show, Spider-Man?
No, I heard a lot about it though, especially with the pre-opening thing. It was all going to be this. I think wasn't it the YouTube Bono did that one? Wasn't he have the rights to it?
Yes, he did, and they've been having all kinds of problems, but I think now it's successful and it's getting a lot of people coming in, a lot of fans coming to see the play, and I think it's working out pretty well.
Well, when I come to New York, I like to see a show. Unfortunately, this has been a really, time constraints have been as such that I didn't get a chance to do so. But when I come back next month, I should check in to seeing that because I know I'd enjoy it.
Tell my audience what you've been working on, all the last projects you've been doing up to par, up to right now. Anything new, anything exciting that you could tell my audience?
Yeah, there's a basically, I don't go on interviews or auditions, but I do get scripts mailed to me occasionally. I'm working on a new radio show, kind of a Hollywood 5-minute report that I'm starting off in Buffalo, and we're expanding from there. Eat Me Zombie movie has been making the film circuit. It's being made into a full-length feature. Right now it's a 22-minute vignette. I've been clean and sober for 17 months, so I do a lot of speaking engagements on alcohol and sobriety and drug abuse because I did it for 40 years growing up in Hollywood. A lot of us did.
I can imagine.
Being around the acceptable lifestyle back then.
But you acted with, some of the greatest. I mean, Yvonne DeCarlo, she was so magnificently gorgeous.
Yvonne DeCarlo, the cast of the Munsters themselves, but before and after that, I worked with Burt Lancaster and Edward G. Robinson and Walter Brennan on The Real McCoys, and just a really long list of quality people throughout my life. I've been very blessed. The 60s was my decade, and now I'm working with Louise Harrison, George Harrison's sister, on HKMA. It's Help Keep Music Alive, which is a charity. We have concerts for high school students and high school music programs that are losing their funding, so we have a concert on the property to help keep music alive in schools.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm really big on philanthropy. I go to a lot of charity events and I interview a lot of people, especially in the Hamptons. Some places here in Manhattan, I do some great charity work, and I love to go to foundations. And please let me know about this foundation. I'd love to attend anything that you're working on, any kind of philanthropic cause.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes. We got to get the word out there. We have to get people to support, contribute, and donate.
We were just at a fundraiser in Cleveland at the San De Filippo, the estate. It's the guy that owns Fisher Nuts, the Fisher Nut family. Huge, 44,000 square foot house, 200 acres. He had the world's largest organ in his private collection, 8,000 pipes, and Denny Lane of the Moody Blues and Wings, fame is there. And we were both talking about going back and doing a fundraiser. So definitely anything to do with HKMA, Help Keep Music Alive, and Louise Harrison's Liverpool Legends.
Sounds wonderful.
It is.
It sounds terrific. And we're here at this wonderful convention. I want you to tell my audience right now, where can they go to find out more information about Stan Lee's comic books convention? Where can they go to find out all the information?
That's a good question that I would imagine Michael Carbonaro has a website for the Big Apple Con, and stanlee.com, I'm sure, or marvelcomics.com. And if you want to come to my Facebook, I'll try to find out the answers for you.
Tell my audience.
Butch Patrick or Munsters.com.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
You're welcome,
darling.
Mwah. Thank you.
And we'll be back in a moment, darlings, with more interviews right here at Stan Lee's Comic Book Convention. Keep watching. More interviews. Big champagne kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh. I said Cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.